Hey guys, and welcome to this Train Sim TV video. This is Mark. Today we're taking a look at the newly released Alan Thompson Sim Chatmoss route. This route runs from the Manchester stations of both Piccadilly and Victoria through to Liverpool Lime Street. It also has a section down to Warrington Bank Quay as well, and it's about 35 or so miles in total length. And we're going to be driving the Alan Thompson Sim reskin of the Class 802, which has all sorts of little bits done with it, I believe, as well. And yeah, we're going to sit back and have a little look at this route. I'm going to unpause the game here. We are at Manchester Victoria, which is the centrepiece for this route. This isn't the first time I've seen the route. I did watch Alan's most recent stream, although I was only able to watch a short amount of it. But I did see the Victoria stuff, and it was excellent and everything. So I'm looking forward to showing you around this in a second, guys. So here we are, we're at Manchester Victoria. I'm just going to leave the game on pause for a minute so we can have a little float around. So this is obviously Victoria as it is now, so it's quite bright and nicely lit inside these days compared to what it used to be. It used to be awfully dingy in here, but it's looking nice. I love the signage and stuff. The way the texturing and stuff's been done is very nice. That's nice. That's a nice little touch there as well. The little plaque there to David Ferguson, a driver that was obviously passed away, unfortunately. The platform textures and everything, spot on. Model. Really impressive. Really, really impressive. I love the gate line they've got on here. Not sure if that's a James Class 37-1 from Alan Thompson's Sim site or not, or his site. I can't remember where it's released. I'm guessing it probably is. I will unpause in a minute. We'll see if they open or not. I know it's dull. I love the detailing around here. That's really, really nice. And all the refreshment rooms. Really good. Now, my favourite bit of the station is this Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway map. The texturing on it's really, really nice, especially when you consider you don't see it from up close anyway, so you don't need to see it in massive detail. It's just a nice little... It's almost an Easter egg. Of course, you've got the best place in the world on there. You can't read it, it's Featherstone, but, right-hand side of the map's much nicer than the left because it's just Yorkshire, but, not going to that. But yeah, it's fantastic to see that, the Lancashire and Yorkshire map. That's a good a bit of attention to detail in there that, to be honest, if it hadn't been there, you wouldn't have really noticed. But yeah, the exterior of the station, it's really nice once again. I believe this has been done by Mox Mortimer. He sent me pictures over the last few months and even years, actually, showing his work on it, and it's certainly paid off the time he's put into it. It's very nice. Because, I mean... It's not too over the top in detail. It's miles away from where the track is and the cab and everything. You're not going to see that, so it's just got the balance right, I would say. So yeah, this is the tram station. So this is the Manchester Metrolink down the side here. So nice bit of detail on there, and just generally, yeah, it's a really nice station. Really like it. Must have been a challenging one to make because it's. Certainly not a small site. It's all been done right up here, look. You've obviously got the arena on the top here, and then the car park and stuff. Let's get into the cab in a second and set up though, because I don't want to bore you to death by talking for ages. I'm not driving, so let's do the doors. Now, I've never actually driven this, so Christ knows what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to seeing the special scripting the ATS guys have done. I think it's Ben Swift that's done it. They've actually managed to script in scenario triggered right away designations on the signals. So when you get the signal in real life, obviously you'll eventually get a right away. And as far as I know, they've simulated that, which is pretty cool. Something that I've been wanting myself for many years. So that's a really impressive idea to do. Obviously it's a bit limited in its operation in terms of you've got to do the scenario scripting and stuff, but to have it there in the scenarios that are included with the route is a big deal, so that's what you're looking for. FPS wise, it's not amazing, it's 25, 30. I am running Streamlabs on top of this, so there'll probably be 5 FPS knocked off there. It's around 30, and I would expect that in Manchester, to be honest. It's not, bad by any means. Seems to be a little bit worse looking this way, but it's not atrocious by any means at all. The only negative I've seen so far, and it's not really a negative, but the only minus point is this weird kink in the platform there. But otherwise, I'm really impressed with this model. It's very nice. especially knowing how challenging mixed stations are to get with the lighting and everything. So you got half of it's out in the larger open roof, and then half of it's under this underground roof. Obviously, it's got to be very challenging to actually put that into the game, I imagine. Certainly we experienced that with Metline. So we got a double yellow. Now we're waiting for the right away here on the stop at the bottom left. Let's see when we get the right away. Hopefully it's going to work so we get an actual right away on the signal. It should do. So again, this reskin is included with the route. There was a couple of problems with installing. I mean, I installed, bear in mind, I installed literally straight after release. There was a few issues with the installation in terms of it wouldn't install the reskin properly. I went into my Railworks folder and there was a 802 CM802 batch file in there which I had to click on to get that to install. Once I'd done that, it were fine. Before that, I couldn't see any cab or any exterior to the model. So we got the right away. There we go. We got the RA and the signal as well. That's beast. Very much like that. So let's depart from Manchester Victoria. Next stop for us is Newton Le Willows in 15 miles. The journey to Liverpool, 31 miles in total. Not sure what that noise was. No idea. Oh. I've never actually driven this train at all. I'm guessing these are the default DTG sounds, some of these as well. It's nice to have the actual accurate train that runs on the route at least. Point work outside there is a little blocky. One thing to note, but then those crossovers are famously difficult to do. Did I open that? Is that what that noise was, maybe? I don't think that was that open before. Who knows? Wasn't paying attention. But yeah, as we're leaving Manchester, I'm loving the detail. It's nice and well thought out. It's not over the top. You look down there and you've not got too much going on. You've got pavements and stuff, which is pretty decent. But then you go a street back and it gets very basic. We'll get back in here because otherwise that's going to get deafening. So we're coming up in a second to Salford Central. And this is all I actually saw in Alan's stream. Unfortunately, I didn't have time. It was quite late at night to actually stick around when I got onto it. And part of that's the reason we haven't had many videos on. Sorry for that, guys, recently. We've not had many videos going up. It's like 2 weeks since we last put it on. For myself, it's just very busy at the moment. Currently going through buying a house and work and stuff and just a lot of stress. So I'm not really in the right place to be doing videos on a regular basis right now. I'm going to try and get a few done, but no promises. This is one I just wanted to make sure I got done when I had a couple of hours on this this morning to do it. Now, as I said, this is as far as I saw in Alan's stream. I loved the detail and the artwork. It's been really well captured as well. It's not like low res or anything like that. It's really nice. Impressive. And now I believe there's supposed to be a branding patch for these billboards, but I've not seen it. As I say, I've not got much time to sit on the website and look for stuff, really. So it was a case of installing what I needed and then getting on with it, basically. But yeah, the detail around here is, again, it's really nice. Not sure what that is, in all honesty, but it's below the track, so it doesn't exactly matter anyway. I know these car parks are custom. Certainly that one is. I think it was Max was saying on the stream that one was one that he'd done, and then there's that one over there. So a good amount of custom stuff, and obviously the station itself is the main one. Really nice. Let's carry on. We're coming around in a second to where the Alto curve is. We'll see the bridge there. Again, that's obviously been made as a custom object because it's there's not exactly any other way you could do it. So that's there, just in front. So if you took the curve to the left here, you would eventually end up in Piccadilly. I'm guessing these must be some custom signals as well. You've got the green repeater and then you also got the arrow as well, which is that's cool. I like that. I'm assuming these are custom because I can't see these being in any other routes. from DTG, so these must be their own custom assets, which is impressive. And I'm guessing the gantries as well, so top marks that. I love the detail on it, really nice. This is the Alto curve and the new bridge that was put in. Crazy to think before they put this in, there was actually no link from Victoria to Piccadilly direct. So yeah, then this is where it would connect on to the traditional DTG Liverpool to Manchester. Obviously, it's not in the game, but that's where it would connect. So we're on the Chat Moss, which is the original Liverpool to Manchester railway. But you can go up to Piccadilly. So any services that obviously come from Piccadilly, you can go up there. It's just the DTG scenery, as far as I know. Certainly the stations and stuff, I think, are. Although there may have been some modifications to them. I'm not sure, to be honest. But it's nice that you can at least do that. Just hang on, I've just broken my keyboard. So just bear with. There, I fixed it. Sorry for the random stop. Nice that they've got a check rail on this curve as well. Certainly something we don't see enough of in TS. So we're curving out of Manchester now. And this is about the limit of my knowledge, to be honest. I've not really been on this route much in real life. I've done a couple of rail tours down it. Don't think I've ever been on a service train down the Chat Moss route. And it's got to be over 10 years since I last went on it. And obviously since then, it's got electrified and a lot of modernisation. So for me, this is all new territory, to be honest. I've not really done much with it. So we're on the 50 limit now, we can accelerate. So we are calling at Newton Le Willows, Lee Green and Liverpool Lime Street. And that is, as I said, around 31 miles from Victoria, where we started. But so far, looking good, liking the detail. I like how they've done the rusted track texture on the left there. Something that we need to do with our own version of this track, which is obviously the originally started out as the Goo track, but these guys obviously make quite a lot of mods to it. So we can accelerate up the speed now to 75. Tunnel's a little bit, the arch on it was a bit weird, but otherwise the detailing is pretty decent. I think there's some custom stuff going on there, I would imagine. So this reskin, as far as I know, it obviously has some little details on it, such as... Oh, I'm not sure actually, I thought it was supposed to have the destinations on the side. I was going to say it's got the special features like the destination on the side, but it hasn't. I thought it did have, so maybe that's just something with a scenario that's not been set up. Honestly, it's not a reskin or anything that I've really paid that much attention to, because there's not been a route for it until now, so apologies for my rustiness on that. But yeah, I'm liking how it's looking, I'm liking the way they've done the foliage. It's not over the top and it's not too basic at the same time. It's a nice sort of blend. So this route, you only require the Liverpool to Manchester route, and you require the ATS OHLE pack to run this route. So that's one big plus, is that you only require one other route in theory, and then you require obviously the OHLE pack, which is standard fare, I'm going to guess, for ATS products in future, because of the, one would imagine, the fact that for starters they're investing money to do more stuff on the OHLE anyway, so rather than include it with the route, get extra sales of the OHLE, which is sensible business. So we're coming up now to, I don't know why I'm going to announce what station it is, I don't know where it is. We're coming up to our station. Ah, Eccles, of course, Eccles. So I know that Eccles is where there's a junction goes off in that direction, or there was. Yeah, up there somewhere. And then there's this line round the back, obviously, is what I was on about. But I liking the signage and stuff going on here. Trams to Salford Quays and buses to Trafford Centre, so that's pretty cool. It's a pretty basic station. But again, there's been a bit of work put into it. You got the shelters and the bridge, obviously, itself that's been done for the route specifically. So yeah, one thing that is nice on this section is that you can see on the left, there's nice detail on that street there. And then they've cleverly, if you look here somewhere, I'm guessing it's going to blend to asset blocks just back there, look. But it's been cleverly done so it doesn't look, you know, it's really cleverly done. So it's nicely detailed next to the track. And everything's been placed properly and it looks really good actually. And then further away it's really basic, so it's sensible way of building. It's sort of closed in there by trees and a very clever way of doing it. And so it, you know, obviously it keeps FPS nice and high whilst keeping the detail nice and high as well. Which is really good to see. Now obviously because it is using Liverpool to Manchester as a base, it obviously requires the use of, just like the train roll through, it does require the use of some of the older DTG assets. So you see here, for instance, with these cars, they are the really old DTG cars, which is fair enough. You know, they've used Liverpool to Manchester as a requirement. They kept the requirements down. Sensible decision. And absolutely no remarks about that. It's just the fact that you've obviously a little bit limited with your asset set. However, the way they've used the asset set is really clever. And so far the feel of it's really good. Loving the detail over there by the sports grounds. FPS wise, I'll leave the counter on, but I'm up at over 60, so that's absolutely fine. You know, if it's, so long as it's anything above 30, you know, you're onto a winner. You know, even at 70 for me, even on a lower end PC, you're going to be, you know, around 30 or above, I would suspect. Not sure why the 60 on the speedo is flashing. I've no idea what I'm doing with this train. So we're now breaking out into the countryside a bit more. But yeah, I'm liking the foliage and the look. Yeah, you got to remember, obviously, by using the Liverpool to Manchester stuff, you are a little bit limited with your foliage. So I can see on the left there the tree line is repeating quite a bit, but you're limited with the Liverpool to Manchester stuff in that, unlike the Southampton to Bournemouth, it's quite hard to make them vary and stuff like that. There is a limited amount of trees with it, and I suspect the reason that they haven't used the Southampton to Bournemouth stuff is because the route obviously was started by Max way before that even came out. So I would suspect that's the reason why that's been used mainly. But it's not a detracting factor at all, really. It's only if you're really looking at it like there, you can see same tree, and it's just the same line placed. You could work your way around it if you had more available, but obviously with just the Liverpool to Manchester, you're a little bit limited. Now I've stopped here because I like how this has been done. I like this small features like this. I love the little attention to detail to put that in and make this little crossing detailed. This road that comes up, and then I love the little Easter egg with the rabbit in there. Is that somebody's pet rabbit or what? Or is it just somebody off Google? Maybe it's just somebody's rabbit off Google. But no, I like the detail there. So 8 miles now from Newton Le Willows. Let's show you the route map while we're going along this quieter section. So as I said, you get both Manchester stations. Now the scenery, your track obviously goes past Trafford Park, but the scenery cuts off somewhere there. You get Manchester Piccadilly. The only platforms you'll be using at Piccadilly are the 2 through platforms, 13 and 14. And then you got the main feature of the route, obviously, which is Manchester Victoria. That's where the time has been spent to make a big custom asset. I'm just going to shut the power off. We'll pause it while we have a little look around the where we won't move. But yeah, you got Eccles there, and then you come along to where we are. It gradually carries on right through Newton Le Willows, and then you got the section down to Warrington Bank Quay shown on the map, and then eventually right across to Liverpool Lime Street. So I'm just going to slow down for the 60 limit. So So of course this line was given overhead wires, I'm not sure exactly when, about 3 or 4 years ago I think. So it obviously simulates that period. Another nice looking crossing. I remember this one from, I think Max sent me a screenshot of this and it was really nice. There's a bit of something going on with that sign. I'm not quite sure what it is, but no, it's nice. Nice detail. Everything looks like it belongs is the way I would put it. So you got the gates and everything, you got the OHLE, the fencing, everything. The way it's been done is very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, that was a big word for me. But it is, it's very pleasing to see. Does bloody count as a swear or not? If it does, then it's a bad mark because I'm not supposed to on videos. I've been told about 12 times, but maybe. So we're going to pass a biomass train here, I guess. Because this is the route, obviously, that the Liverpool to Drax biomass trains use. And the limit goes up to 90 in a short while. I'm suspecting that 90 will be about as fast as we get on this route. Well, yeah, again, I think that there, for instance, I'm pretty sure this is a custom post. Which is good to see because these signal posts are something that you see along a lot of... Oh, look at that, that's cool. How that one leans, I'm guessing that's something that's there, you know, I'm guessing that's prototypical to real life, how that is. But yeah, you see a lot of these posts on Midland routes where it's semaphore, not semaphore, an old post that's sort of comes out at the top. So it's nice to see they've done that and not just use DTG's Pro Signals. I'm guessing the head maybe is one of those DTG ones, maybe wrong. But the post itself is definitely part of their route, which is cool. But yeah, I'm enjoying this, it's good. It's very nice how it's been done. It's not too much, it's not too little. You can tell, I mean, I know that Max Mortimer, the guy that's made it, the route itself, and apologies if somebody else has worked on the route in great detail. I think Cameron Forbes has certainly been involved in more recent times. But I know Max has been working on this for years. And you can see the work's paid off. Again, you can see it is the older DTG tree models, but that's the nature of the way it's done. Obviously, there's not much you can do about that. At the same time, it's not really a detraction. So we've just changed signals there. We're on to VMS Signals, I think, rather than the standard bulb ones. Nice bit of elevated cable traffic there on the right. Apologies that I'm running the scenario basically in the dark. It was the only scenario I could see that started at Victoria, which is where I wanted to make sure we started this this video. So we are gradually making his way towards Newton Willers, 2.5 miles south, to start braking soon. Oh, we've got a double yellow in front. So we're now 17 miles from Liverpool, so we're about halfway into the journey. Newton Labours, of course. I think that's where the... is that where the Wizard works at some point? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? I'm trying to remember where the English Electric Works was. I'm going to move my phone because it keeps vibrating. Oh, press the wrong button then. Stupid people don't know I'm doing a video. But yeah, I like how they've done the attention to make the platform, make the embankment lofts, or use embankment lofts, sorry, rather than just rely on Train Sim's crappy terrain mesh. They've used the lofts and they've nicely bedded them in and everything, so you can't see anything behind them. It's been cleverly done. And the foliage, I can tell you from my own experience that placing the foliage on the bankings like this is a right pain in the backside, but it looks decent when it's done. So, no idea where that goes, to be honest. Is that the west coast down there? I'm guessing that must be the west coast. I'll have a look at the map. Yeah, so we're just about to cross over the west coast, so this is where you would connect. You would go over the top of the west coast, and if you're going into Wellington Bank, obviously turn off just before Earlstown. To say I live 40 miles from this place, I don't know it very well at all. Sort of on side of hill. Nice bit of old track there on the left, just left lingering on. Oh god. Why have I left braking so late? Now I've done it. No idea what I've done, but I've done something. Well, some other train will be in the station. What the hell's that noise? I'll probably be breaking the video in a second whilst I work out what the hell I've done. Right, so I've fixed the noises. So the noises are gone. We've got rid of that. We are now loading passengers at Newton Labours, so let's have a look around here. First of all, I'm loving the... this must have been a pretty difficult one to make with the tunnel underneath as well. Some crazy complicated looking entrance gubbins. Nice is this again. As of all the stations so far. Obviously fully custom. Nice signage. Great texturing. Yeah, it's really, really good. This bridge obviously has been done as well, which is a nice thing to do. DTG probably just chuck a Kuju bridge on the end or something. I've no idea what that noise is. Must be a door or something. So next stop then, 4.5 miles, is Lee Green. So we got Lee Green, then we got Liverpool Lime Street to stop at. So this is the junction where you would turn off at Earlstown to go towards Warrington Bank Quay. Now it is shown on the route map that you can go there, so I'm assuming they've got full scenery down here, which it looks like they do. Or there's some scenery down there. The map shows it as being in the route anyway, so one would suspect if it's on the map, then it's in there. Talking the map, you do get a good manual with this. There's a 13-page manual included. It goes into some nice detail. It's a nice improvement over the Peterborough to Cambridge manual, which is pretty basic. And it's, you know, right up. It's got some more detail in this one, which is... It's nice to see because you can learn a little bit about the route while you're going along. It tells you about each station. Stuff like that. This is Hallstown Viaduct, obviously. Now, I know... Again, Max showed a screenshot of this at some point. Which is, you know, it looks really good. I like the way the foliage and everything's been done. Nice variety of signals on it. You got a bit of everything. Which is must have been a bit of a pain in backside when you build it route to actually keep on to change your signals tower every 5 miles. We've had bulb, I'm sure we had LED around Manchester, and then we've had VMS as well now. Let's try not to go straight through Lee Green or put emergency brakes on. Now these signals have been completely rebuilt as well. Like the VMS ones and that. Unusual footbridge. Another station coming up. So there's quite a few stations on there. Obviously, if you're driving a local service, you'll be stopping quite a lot. So keep you on your toes. St Helens Junction. Don't like St Helens. But when I say don't like St Helens, it's because I don't like rugby team. But the station were alright. So half a mile from Lee Green. Let's actually put some brakes in. Don't tell me we're going to go straight through again. It's looking... I feel it'll be okay actually looking at it. We're down to 40. A little bit of terrain bleed there on the right, you can see. Again, it's one of those stations where they literally built about 4 miles of ramp to the station in real life. Well, it's an overshoot, but it's not as bad as the last one. So yep, you got Lee Green in the Merseyvale section now, I guess. Judging by the branding and everything. Although I think we have been for a while. But yeah, it's a pretty basic station. It's again, it's been well modelled and everything. The detail's good. One thing I did notice, which I'm sure will get patched, is that... Oh, I thought it would... No, not going to get patched because it's me, bad mark. I thought that were floating, but it's not. It's a very low elevated cable trough, so that's bad mark. I like the distinction between old and new with the different cores on the cable trough. I think that's quite nice. But yeah, again, I think these are, as I said, these are new signals. Which is nice to see. They got the sort of the tilt on the lenses and everything. So that's the... Is that the 4th style of signal we're seeing on the street? I think it is. Just certainly the work cut out doing all that, because none of that stuff's in the DCG library. Got a couple of minutes here. We must have been running a little bit early somehow. Not sure how, but we were. So maybe it's 16 minutes to Liverpool. Why did I forget where I'm going? Anyway, it's 16 minutes Liverpool Lime Street. We're running at a nice, 60 odd, 65, 70 frames a second. And the main reason the frame rate will be decent is because, again, they've not gone over the top. They've not put Bob's Garden over there or anything like that. It's just the very, very basic scenery. I mean, if I were going to be super critical, I would remark about the fact that they've used the housing block on the first row when it goes through the fence and stuff. But I know that that's the ATS mantra in the way of building their routes, and that's just the way they build their routes. They build it from the cab experience. If that's your way of doing it, that's your way of doing it. It would be nice just to see this row done, from my own personal standpoint, just that row done like they've done this one. With the proper gardens and stuff. But at the end of the day, you've got to be brutally honest and say that you can't see when it's in summer season, and about 4 people driving winter season, and spring. So from that aspect, I fully understand it. We're still sat waiting at Lee Green. Pick up Liverpool Lime Street, 10 miles to Liverpool, so not far at all to go. I do like on the OHLA you get these little dagger fins coming off it. I'm trying to find things to talk about whilst we're sat here. I'm guessing some of this stuff is a part of the new kit that they've made for the update of the OHLA pack. But I like it. No messing, let's go straight to full throttle. Looks nice. Plenty of trackside detail going on. It's something that's good to see. Nice bit of detail up there as well. Another nice crossing there that they've done. So obviously starting to get more into Liverpool now, so we'll find that we get more urban. There's an old signal box on the right there. Look. Not got any IDs on it. What station is this? This is Raynhill. So this is the where the Raynhill Trials was from October 1829. So this is where they had the rocket and everything in the Raynhill Trials. This is where it was. This is basically the famous bit of the route that we're on now. Again, nice attention with the station. But yeah, I like how they've done the cuttings and everything. That's one of the biggest things I've seen that's going for this route so far, is the way they've done them. Very nice. None of it feels exactly the same. There's different bits of foliage placed and stuff like that. Again, another variation on a signal post there as well, which is cool. So we're just 6 miles from Liverpool, so we're getting really close now. So yeah, as you can see, on both sides of the track you're seeing little variations, such as there on the left, look. A little bit where it comes down and it's different heights on the left and right. It just has that, for me personally, it's just immersion. It's not being rushed and you know, how the heights of the terrain, everything differs. It's been done properly is what I'm trying to say. Very poorly trying to say it, but it's been done properly. Yeah, you feel like you're actually going somewhere. Hoyton, or Wheaton, or Hoyton, or whatever. But yeah, again, it's looking decent. Why am I braking so much? What am I doing? It's hard to believe when you're driving this, actually, that the only requirement for another route is Liverpool to Manchester. Shows how good of a base, actually, that route was. It was a really good base for the route builders. Especially when you make full use of it like they have here as well. Soon we're getting the brakes in for Liverpool Lime Street. So this one is Broad Green. I like how they've done sort of like a... is that are they Merseyvale signs? The old Merseyvale signs, I'm guessing. Quite old signage anyway, it looks it anyway. Whether they're just made like that, they've been like that for, you know, not old and just like that anyway, but decent anyway. I like how they've done the open doors there on the station. That's a different idea. Why have I just taken a screenshot? I don't know. I'm trying to press pause. So you can tell again, it's the urban section now. I think this is the way you go for the big cutting when you're coming into Liverpool, so that'd be cool to see. I think it's at the end of the straight, actually. Yeah, we're coming down towards Edge Hill. So yeah, you can see we're coming into the big cut in here. No idea if it's a custom one or not. It looks like it probably is. But I like the effect of it. Assuming it is custom, the texturing on it's pretty decent and stuff. It doesn't repeat it, you know, vastly. Any more than you would expect, because obviously these things aren't easy to do. It's an impressive bridge. Ah, that's yeah, that's a slight negative. It just it just dies when it gets over there. If you can hear that, that is my stomach rumbling, because I haven't had any breakfast yet. I just wanted to get this video done before I ran out of time today. So yeah, Wavertree Technology Park. They haven't had the technology to finish the bridge yet, but otherwise it's pretty decent. Surprised they just left it like that at the top, but yeah, the model itself's good. I mean, you're not really looking up there. Obviously, it is a station. I suspect that wasn't intentional. I suspect they've either run out of time or just a slight bug, which I would imagine will get fixed. I'm going to do some more casual speeding, it looks like, in a second. So this is where the biomass trains go down to the docks, I think, from here. To the terminal, the biomass terminal. So now we're joining back onto where the old Liverpool to Manchester TS route would come in on the left. A little bit of terrain bleed on the track there. Because obviously with these biomass trains, they have two locos sometimes, I think, to do the shunt backs and stuff from Tubrook. Be awesome one day to do the full run of that working. Been about 25 years when we finish our route through to Manchester and then through to Drax. It is progressing slowly. Obviously, as I've said in this video, I've got other things on my mind at the moment. So I'm not sure how much of this is the original scenery and stuff. It wouldn't be sensible to spend a load of time and money editing original scenery from their point of view, which I would fully, I fully understand and it's sensible. Obviously they've done the OHLE, and the scenery anyway was adequate down here really. Got that feeling though. It's the feeling that I'm looking for. So it feels like you're in that really dark and long cutting down into Lime Street. Obviously the signals are the new ones as well, which is, good. Obviously they were the same, I guess, in Missing Link as well. West Coast, Midlands and North West. And the big point to make with this is that, considering that this is ATS's second ever payware route, discounting Missing Link, which is obviously subway rather than payware. Track's a bit weird there. Considering that this is ATS's second ever route, on Thompson Sim, because I've always shouted at Tom for not giving them the full name, just saying ATS. It's mighty impressive, really, when you think that, some of the drop balls I see from such as DCG, if their stuff and West Coast Mainline South and stuff like that, that a developer can use DTG's own library and their own stuff, that's a company that's only been in existence for 2 years, and do this good after 2 years, is very impressive. It shows that time and dedication does go a long way. And there's a vast improvement here from the Peterborough Cambridge route, I believe, to this one as well. I've not really seen anything in this route that turned me off it or anything like that. It's decent, really nice. There's little things, but that's more down to the fact that it's limited to using Liverpool to Manchester and stuff like that, rather than any actual major issues, anything like that. There's none at all. Of course, the haters will disagree with that, but obviously I'm going to go into the pricing and everything in a second. So that's us arrived then at Liverpool Lime Street. Nearly on the concourse. So yeah, that was a good 35-mile run. It's taken us about 45 minutes to do it. So that's you know, a decent length run. It's a decent length route. No real, like I said, no real issues with it at all. Some big plus points there. The scenery and everything is really good. The time you can tell that Max has put into this, he's made assets. He's made the route himself as well. There are other people in the credits for the manual. I'm not sure if the manual's available if you don't buy the route. If it's not, then obviously it'd be good if it was. If you've bought the route early on, then you might need to just re-download it and stuff, because I know there was some problems with install, and I downloaded it first, you know, within 10 minutes last night, and then didn't try and install it till this morning when I had to re-download it all anyway for some update stuff. So if you were one of the first ones and you're having problems, then just re-download it. If you're still having problems, drop them a support message. I'm sure they'll help you out. So yeah, as I said, positives. It's, you know, it's a decent length route. The scenery is pretty good as well throughout. There's not really any issues with the scenery at all. The FPS is really good. The 6 scenarios included with the route, which is better than the 4, I think it was, that was with Peterborough to Cambridge. The requirements aren't too bad at all for the scenarios. They're pretty sensible. The 802 reskin is included with the route anyway, so you don't have to go and find that on ATS. The only thing you did have to find was Jake Fuller's wagons for the Drax wagons. But if you know what you're doing with the websites and stuff, which I imagine 90% of ATS customers will do, then that's not a problem at all. For me, it's certainly not an issue. Pricing wise, so if you're a subscriber, it's $14.99. If you are a non-subscriber, it's $24.99. So, you know, it's a fair enough price. I'm happy to pay the price that I would pay for a couple of pizzas from Domino's for this route if I wasn't a subscriber. Obviously, I am a subscriber, so I paid 15 quid. I've got no personal qualms at all with the pricing. You know, I can see that there's a lot of work gone into it, and it's a decent length route, as I said, so I've got no problems with that pricing strategy at all. Obviously, the only other minor things that I was going to say is, obviously, because it is using Liverpool to Manchester only, the foliage in some places, you see it repeat a little bit, but you got to look for it. And, you know, if any other negatives, I'm really starting to get granular with them, and there's no point, really. I'm sure Tom will get his take on it in a stream and stuff, and he may well point out some of the more granular ones, but I'm not really that way inclined, and it doesn't fuss me at all. And just a big well done to the lads that have been involved with this route. They've done a fantastic job. Again, it's the second route from ATS that's payware, and I'm sure there's a bright future ahead for it with stuff like this coming out. It's certainly an impressive job that's been done. I suppose the one thing I would say, the biggest negative that I have got, and it's actually not to do with the route, is just the site in general is a little bit clunky and hard to work. And I know they've said in the past that I'm sure I've heard them say that they sort of understand that in the past. I don't want to put words in people's mouths there, but that is the one thing that has been a little bit of a pain, is the website side of it. You know, download this, then re-download that, then download this. Oh, you need to re-download that, and then you need to go into Railworks folder and get this 802, you know, bat file and stuff like that. For people like myself and Tom and, you know, most of you guys watching, I'm sure when you're an experienced TS user, it's not an issue. You like go there, but if you're trying to attract that newer customer, you have people that only buy from Steam, which is the majority of them, and indeed a lot of the people that don't just buy from Steam still might find it a bit of a struggle. I saw one guy kicking off on the Facebook group just before I came and did this video about it as well. I think for me, that's actually where the biggest problem is for this route, and it's not a major one for me because I can get around it, but I think that's where the biggest problem is the actual website just being clunky. But it's improved over time, and I'm sure it'll continue to improve, so yeah. Enjoyed the route. Well done, guys. And thanks very much for watching this video. We'll see you later. Cheers, guys. Bye.